Hey there guys, it's a beautiful spring day here on the 3rd of May 2023 in South Yorkshire, and as you can see I've got some new plants. I'm going to be potting them up next, but I thought I'd just show you them in their stock pots. As you can see I've got a couple of Tetrapanax. These are all from Vertigrow in York, wonderful specialist nursery. We've got a really big one here, a gorgeous fresh growth point there, and a really nice thick trunk. Real beauty. And we've got a smaller one. When they're kind of smaller sizes, the big ones always have smaller leaves than the little baby ones. Obviously that all changes when they get a bit of chunk, two of them. But yeah, then we've got a Gunnera Manicata as well. Beautiful little stock right there at the bottom for him to come from. So 3 very nice beautiful plants, all exotics. We're going to get them in some more soil now. Okay then, as you can see, got a couple of bigger pots here for the smaller Tetrapanax and the Gunnera, and we've got a slightly bigger pot for the large Tetrapanax to go in as well. We've got a nice big mix of compost here with some sharp sand, as well as some orchid potting mix, which is basically a bunch of very well rotted wood chip and brick, and that's just to add a bit of organics as well as some good drainage in there. So I'm going to mix it all up and start potting up. Okay, the wind's picked up a little bit now. It's a shame because it was such a wonderful day today. But as you can see, all 3 plants are potted up. We've got a nice big pot for each, the Gunnera and the larger Tetrapanax, with the smaller one also obviously being potted up into a larger pot than it was in before. The thing with Tetrapanax is you don't want to overpot them until they're ready to go in the ground, because they can apparently be quite prone to root rot, and overpotting them can kill them, as I found out in the past. I had one which rotted away this spring, probably because it was in 2 bigger pots, and so it just stayed quite moist and rotted away. But here you can see the largest one, beautiful growth point just there. Now it's May and the leaves are about hand size already. These are going to get huge throughout the growing season. He's probably got a good foot of trunk there. Just to put the perspective of the size into play, here's my size 11 foot next to it. UK size, US 12. So quite big. Here's the second one, and his leaves are definitely bigger than hand size, despite being a smaller plant. Nice healthy growth point just there. And here's the Gunnera Manicata. Those beautiful dinosaur-like leaves, and a very nice healthy growth point just in there. Plenty to play with here. And so all that's left to do is water them in. I've got a mix of seaweed feed, nitrozyme to be precise. I'm going to give them all a good drink, and then they shouldn't need a drink for another couple of weeks unless it's really dry. The Gunnera maybe will need to be watered again after a week and a bit, but the Tetrapanax certainly won't need watering until the height of the summer. They do not want to be too wet, but we do need to water them in and give them a bit of a feed, so I'm going to do that now. Just make sure we wash his growth point down a little bit as well. And the great thing about nitrozyme feed is that it is leaf soluble as well, so the plants can take it in through the leaves. So if you do capture a growth point of the leaves, it's not bad at all. In fact, it will help feed the plant, deliver nutrients up to the top sooner than it would from the roots. Just going to level this guy off while it drains. There we go. And so we've exposed some roots there, so I'm just going to throw some more compost on the surface just to level it out a bit. But there we go, 2 Tetrapanax Papyrifer and a Gunnera Manicata in South Yorkshire, England. I'm going to put them on the patio in the sun, and they're going to get sun all day where they're going, so they should really romp away. Hopefully coming from a greenhouse into the open, as I don't have the means to harden them off, won't be detrimental towards their growth, but they may just slow down for a week and then start going again. but they should be fine. I'm just so impressed with this Tetrapanax right here. I've never owned one so big. I grew one years ago and it did absolutely nothing. I could not believe it. I've never heard of a Tetrapanax not growing. I mean, it died in the summer, not the winter. My second one, which I purchased last year from a local seller in York, died this spring from a mould infection, a rot. So he rotted away, and that was that. So I've got two now, a big established one and an insurance policy. Okay, so we kind of moved from this nice woodland area, which is beautiful this time of year, into some tropicals with the Trachycarpus along the perennial border, and we've got this kind of tropical holding area for on the patio for my kind of pot grown growing on plants. So here we have the Trachycarpus fortunei Wagnerianus, who's looking beautiful, another recent addition, and you can see the 3 new plants are all in their place as well. Got the Gunnera Manicata, we've covered over those exposed roots from when we watered him. Same with the 2 Tetrapanax, a beautiful big boy and the little one just there as well. Alright then, so as you can see, all the pots are now protected from the birds. It's a shame that you have to do this. Well, I can't say I've ever seen anyone on YouTube have to do this before, but the birds in my garden are an absolute nightmare. They dig in any exposed soil, in any freshly dug bed, or in any newly planted pots. They're an absolute nightmare. As you can see, this has happened many times before. So the Wallamires are done, the plants on the table are done. It's just one of those things. But it does mean that my plants are now protected from wildlife, and the birds will be discouraged from digging around in there. The sticks make it a lot harder to do so, and especially to land